You mentioned something earlier about deficiencies, and I've had conversations with some of your friends like Austin Wasserman and
Mhm.
um, uh, talking with like Dana Sorensen. And can you talk about how you're able to identify deficiencies in more so like movements, right? Because you talked about how high level players move, and that's kind of like the separating factors with some of your students that you're working with. How do you identify those?
Well, you know, understanding like sometimes your instinct comes into play. Like some things are obvious you can see, but I've always had a strength like company that I've worked with, like in the building. Like when I talked to when I had my spot exclusively, we had a strength training performance company that was with us like every day. So our kids can go like here where I'm at now, work with Pinnacle with Eric Alexander. So if all of a sudden something keeps popping up, like they start having trouble, sometimes you can't tell, but like trouble at times staying down when they start to rotate. Now they can get some hip and shoulder separation, but as they start to turn there, the thoracic piece wants to pull everything up. And I usually have him take a look, and then we usually run him through some tests, and he'll come back and say, wow, man, we have limited, thoracic, mobility. And so we start doing certain things for him, and you'll see a change in a month in their swing, their ability to repeat something, So we've always had that. So it's a lot easier for me in that part because I don't necessarily have to. I've actually learned to see because watching and talking and being around those guys do their assessments and break bodies down from all the pro baseball players we have to the NFL players and tennis and everything else. I've been able to like understand how things should move and look, and sometimes the deficiencies don't necessarily need to be corrected as much as sometimes they may need to understand the awareness of them. And because some people have learned to compensate in a way where those things don't actually really cause a problem. Um, like it makes it maybe some things that they do that don't need to be changed. Like say if a kid doesn't have great hip mobility, it's not necessarily a good thing for us to go in and create more hip mobility. If it's enough to function everything else, they may be better off with limited hip mobility. Opening them up may cause them to have to rearrange how their body sequences, to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of space and stuff. So